Over the years, as you blacksmith, you're going to make a whole lot of different stuff, and frequently you're going to have test pieces and samples and examples of your work just laying around the shop collecting dust. One way to deal with all these extra pieces is to put them on sample boards. Now, sample boards serve a couple of purposes. Now, as I've already mentioned, it's a good place just to put your leftover stuff. But for what purpose? What's different about a sample board versus just keeping them in a box somewhere? Two big advantages for sample boards. One, if you are selling your work, having a sample board like this one that has a wide variety of hooks on it that customers can look at gives them an idea of what kind of hooks you make. Now, of course, this isn't all-inclusive. As soon as you do the sample board, you're going to come up with another hook idea and you're going to do something completely different, and it won't be on the board, but it's a good place to start. Another reason to do sample boards is in case you need to make a project again and you don't remember what it looks like. Like a couple of the hinges and this little latch on this board, I made for a customer several years ago, and I knew at the time that it was only part of their kitchen remodel and that ultimately they were going to order more hardware. And because I have samples of their work on the sample board, I know what it's supposed to look like, so I don't have to guess so much. Now, you could just hang this stuff up on the walls of your shop where you can see it and find it and get it down if you want to. But odds are you're probably not going to take that stuff down off the wall very often, especially if it's up high like some of this is. But these sample boards I've got a little cleat on the back of so I can hang them on a rail, real easy to take off the wall if I want to take them to show a customer. Now, the reason I made these boards was actually to take to shows, and we've talked about going to shows to sell your work. And I made these up, and I had a little stand that they would sit on at the show so people could look at it. It was one of these things that you could turn around and look at both sides of the stand. Some of these hung on one side, some hung on the other. And I thought that was going to be a great way to sell a lot of hardware at shows. People could look at what they want. They could order things, either custom order based off of some of this, or order something exactly like one of the pieces that I have on the sample board. Unfortunately for me, it didn't really work out that way. I think it's still a pretty good idea in the long run. And if you're at the right show, I am sure that that would pay off. But for me, people wanted things that were ready to take home with them. They didn't want to order. They just wanted stuff that was ready-made. So I don't take these to the show anymore. So I am going to hang these on the wall in the shop. But again, I'll use the cleat so that I can take it down if I need to. I can take it to a show. I can take it down for a customer to look at. Or I can take it down and take pictures, since most of my work is online. If somebody wants to say, what are some of your hinge finial options? I have this whole board full of hinge finial options. And on these sample boards, I have one that is just hooks that we've looked at. I have one that is just big door hardware. This would be barn doors or the front door of your house, something to that nature. I have chest handles, and that's all that's on this one. There's various options for chest handles. These could probably be adapted to drawer handles if you wanted to, although they're a little big for that. And these all have a positive stop so you can lift the chest up. And we'll make some of these at some point. I have one that's just full of interior door hardware. There's a couple of different cabinet pulls on here. There's a little latch. There's a bolt, or there's a hasp for a cabinet, and there's a slide bolt. So lots of different things can go on sample boards, and it gives you a way to remember what you've done. And of course, we just looked at the board of some options for hinge finials. Now, all of this stuff is just scratching the surface of what some of these things are. There are so many other options. I've made other chest handles that don't show up on here, lots of other hinges and cabinet handles, lots of other hinge finials. This is just scratching the surface, but it is a good reference point, and it's a good way to take a picture of something that's finished and shows the mounting hardware, shows it on a nice background, and something you can then email to a customer or show in person to a customer. I just thought I would share those with you because I'm preparing to hang them up on the wall and thought that was a good time for you to get a chance to see them as well. Just kind of my thoughts on the subject. I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Love it if you hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share the videos with your friends, but then make time in your day to get out to your shop, make something, maybe even hang it on a sample board. But stay safe, wear your safety glasses. We'll see you for the next one.